Before you defend yourself. Before you explain. Before you say, "That's not what happened. Try this." Stay silent.
Before you defend
For exactly
yourself,
3 seconds.
Let's be clear.
Because the moment someone disrespects you,
Try this.
the worst thing you can do is
Stay
react
silent.
immediately. And I know that sounds wrong. Especially when someone embarrasses you,
You knew exactly
Mocks
how
you.
long to wait.
talks down to you in front of other people.
You looked so silly
Because in that
trying to
moment,
dance.
Oh,
Your heart
please,
races.
Not this again.
Your face
Especially
gets
when
hot,
someone embarrasses you.
and your brain starts
Defend
screaming.
yourself.
Say something.
Explain yourself.
Defend yourself.
Don't
Don't
let
let them
them
win.
win.
But
You
what
never
if I
listen,
told
it's
you
always the same.
that's some of the strongest people you've ever met?
Why?
Don't
Just
react fast.
Why?
They pause. And that tiny pause changes everything. Because most people who disrespect you
I told you to
aren't
redo
looking
the
for
report.
truth.
This isn't working. We need
They're
a break.
looking for a
Did
reaction.
you see that? So
And
embarrassing.
the moment you give them
I should
one,
have said something.
You hand them control. But if you stay silent for just 3 seconds, something strange happens.
Let me
Sometimes,
just add this
they
to that
begin to
point.
lose power.
It's actually more like that.
And by the end
Yes,
of this
exactly.
video,
but I was gonna
you'll
say,
understand exactly why.
Anyway.
Not only the psychology behind it,
Oh,
but how
look
to
who
use it
actually
in
showed
real
up.
life. At work,
He knows
in
what
relationships,
we mean, right?
with family, even when someone humiliates you in
Look
public.
At him.
And
Yeah,
there's one
look.
mistake almost everyone
No.
makes that quietly teaches people to disrespect them more. So if you've ever walked away from a conversation, replaying it in your head, thinking, "I should have said something," stay with me. Because this might completely change how people treat you. Welcome to Blissful Journey. Let's talk about why silence might be the strongest response you've never learned. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had someone say something so disrespectful that your body reacted before your mind could?
I can't believe it.
Maybe it sounded small,
Yeah, right.
a sarcastic joke, a dismissive
then-
comment, a cold look, something like, "Relax, you're being dramatic," or, "You wouldn't understand," or maybe even worse, someone humiliating you in front of other people. And afterward, you replayed the moment 100 times in your head, thinking of the perfect response hours too late. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something. You're not weak. You're human. Because when someone disrespects you, your brain doesn't register it as just words. It registers it as a social threat. And human beings are wired to fear rejection, humiliation, embarrassment, loss of status.
Oh,
In
I don't
ancient
think you
times,
should take things so seriously.
Being pushed out
It's
of your
really not
group
that
could
big of a
literally mean
deal.
death. So when someone humiliates you today, your nervous system still reacts like survival is on the line. That's why your chest tightens. Why your thoughts get messy. Why you suddenly say something you regret. Or say nothing at all. Psychologists sometimes call this an emotional hijack. The emotional brain takes over before the rational one catches up. And this is exactly why the 3-second rule matters.
Your idea is okay,
Because
but
those
it's
3
not gonna
seconds,
work. We've tried that.
they interrupt
Right.
the emotional
I understand.
takeover.
You're
They give your
blowing this out
thinking
of
mind time to
proportion.
come back online.
Why do you always
But here's
do
the
that?
part nobody talks about.
Just breathe.
Most
Let it
disrespectful
go.
people are waiting for something. Not understanding. Not truth. Not resolution. They are waiting for your reaction. Here's something strange. The people who seem the most powerful in difficult conversations often say
That was a
less,
joke, right?
Chuckles.
not
you know?
more.
You know, right?
They
Just
don't
kidding.
rush to
Quiet
explain
settling.
themselves.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah.
So,
They don't
nice weather,
panic.
huh?
They don't immediately defend their
look,
worth.
They've finally decided to join us.
And no, it's not because they don't care. It's because they understand something most people don't. The first person who loses emotional control usually loses the moment. Let me show you
Sorry
what
about
happens
that.
psychologically.
I think I'm just a
Imagine
little
someone
nervous right
says
now.
something disrespectful to you. Maybe at work. Maybe in a relationship. Maybe at dinner with family. Something
the
sharp.
silence isn't fear
Something
tonight.
dismissive. Something designed to
It
make you feel
feels
small.
like peace.
The first second, your body reacts. Not your wisdom. Not your maturity. Your body, heart racing. Chest tightening. Mind spinning. And suddenly your brain starts shouting.
I can't.
Say something, Nundu.
Look at this.
Fix this. Don't let them disrespect you. But this is where most people accidentally give away their power. Because reacting immediately feels strong. But emotionally, it's usually panic wearing confidence as a costume. The truth is, people who disrespect others are often watching for one thing: instability. They want proof they affected you.
I don't think
They want to
that's
see
right.
you stumble.
Let's move on.
Raise your voice. Over-explain. Defend
Look,
yourself too hard.
About the project?
Because the moment
maybe
you
we
do,
could have
They quietly
No.
move into the stronger position. Not because they're right, but because now, they control your emotions. And this is why the 3-second pause matters. Not because silence is magical, but because silence interrupts the emotional trap.
And that's why I think it's
Second
important
one,
to be honest.
You stop
know?
yourself from reacting automatically.
I think
Second
I'll
two,
wait.
You start observing instead of defending.
nice sweater.
Second
Still got
three,
that grandma
something
vibe.
unexpected
He
happens.
does look cozy.
The room changes. The energy shifts. And sometimes, the other person becomes uncomfortable. Why? Because silence creates pressure. Healthy pressure. The kind that forces people to hear themselves. Let me tell you something awkward that happened to me once. Years ago, someone said something
I
in
heard
front of
something
other
about
people
the
that
new
really got
project.
under my skin.
Yes, they were discussing
It
it
wasn't
over coffee
screaming.
earlier.
It
I don't
wasn't
think
aggressive.
they're including everyone.
Honestly,
We could streamline the process
That
by
almost
combining
would have
step
been
2 and
easier.
3.
Excuse me, but
it was
I
one of
think a
those
better
calm little
approach is using
comments
the new
people
software
hide
upgrade we
behind.
just got.
The kind that sounds harmless, but somehow stays with you all day. They smiled and said, "You always take things so
So I was
seriously."
thinking about this idea.
Everyone laughed.
Yes, excellent.
Not cruelly, but enough.
It's really gonna change
Enough
things.
for me to
Oh.
feel exposed. And immediately,
No,
my brain
you're
started
wrong.
racing.
This is how it should be.
I wanted
trust
to
me.
explain myself. To prove I wasn't difficult. To defend why I cared.
Well,
I had
wouldn't hold
entire
your breath if I
paragraphs
were
ready.
you.
But for some reason, I froze. I said nothing. Just looked at them. 3 seconds. Maybe 4. And then something strange happened. They started talking again. Faster this time. Suddenly explaining themselves.
The
Laughing
project
awkwardly.
timeline is set,
Trying to
and the
soften what
first
they
task
said.
is ready to begin.
And I remember thinking, wait, what just happened? At the time, I thought silence made me weak. Later, I realized something. Silence made them hear themselves. And sometimes, people become uncomfortable when they hear their own disrespect out loud. Now, I need to
Oh,
be
look,
careful
it's
here.
Character A with their incredible
Because
fashion
silence
sense
is
again.
not always power.
Yeah, so chic.
Sometimes
sure.
silence
So
is
chic.
fear. Sometimes silence is shutting down. Sometimes silence is abandonment of yourself. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something different. A pause. A deliberate pause. The kind that says,
I'm so sorry. I
I'm
really
not going to
didn't
let my
mean it.
emotions make decisions for me. Because when someone disrespects you, your first feeling is rarely your wisest one. Anger is fast. Embarrassment is fast.
You know
Fear
I
is
hate when you
fast.
do that.
But dignity moves slower. And
I
maybe
really don't care.
that's why emotionally
I
strong
feel the
people look
tension
calm.
beneath the table.
Not because they don't feel hurt, but because they learned something painful.
Yeah, I'm
Not
listening.
every moment
what did you
deserves
say?
an immediate
Just browsing.
reaction.
1 second.
And here's where it gets
oh,
interesting.
that's wild. Keep going, sorry.
Because once you
I know what
master
you're thinking,
those 3
but let me
seconds,
explain. It wasn't intentional. I was just
you
trying
start
to.
noticing
Please,
something.
Just listen to me. Just leave me
Not
alone.
everyone deserves access to your emotional energy. And the people who disrespect others, most casually, usually expect free access to it. They expect instant reactions, instant explanations, instant emotional labor. But when you pause, you
Still
quietly
single?
say,
Don't worry, you've got time.
you don't get immediate access
He's
to
just
me.
kidding. Not really.
And that changes more than you think. But now comes the uncomfortable part. Because there are 5 situations where people disrespect you. And almost everyone reacts the wrong way.
How about you?
Especially
some
good
tea?
people.
Thank you.
Especially kind people. Especially people who hate conflict. And if you miss this, you accidentally train people to disrespect you more. Let's start with the first one. The workplace. Before we end this conversation,
Next in line. Don't waste
I want
my
to tell you
time.
something I wish
Oh,
someone had told me
okay.
earlier. Silence doesn't mean weakness. But it also doesn't mean disappearing. Because maybe some of us have spent too much of our lives doing exactly that. Staying quiet. Explaining too much. Making ourselves smaller. Just to keep the peace. Just to be understood. Just to avoid losing people. And maybe that's why disrespect hurts more than we admit. Because it rarely hurts only in the present moment. When someone talks down to you, dismisses you, laughs at you, or makes you feel small, it touches something older, something deeper. The version of you that once felt unseen, unchosen, not enough. Maybe the child in you who learning. If I explain myself better, maybe they'll finally understand me. If I stay kind enough, maybe they'll stop hurting me.
No. I mean, I appreciate
But
your
growing
feedback,
older
but the quarterly
teaches you
report-
something painful.
As you can
And
see, factors
strangely,
connected.
something freeing. Not everyone wants to understand you. Some people only want access to your energy, your reaction, your softness, your patience, without ever learning how to protect your heart in return. And that realization hurts. Of course it hurts. Especially if you are someone who loves deeply. Who gives chances. Who always tries to see the good in people. But listen carefully. You do not need to fight for respect in places where you are repeatedly diminished. You do not need to explain your humanity to people committed to misunderstanding it, and you do not need to react immediately to prove your worth. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is pause. 3 seconds. Not to suppress yourself, not to surrender, but to ask something quietly powerful. What response protects my peace? Because maybe the goal was never to win the argument. Maybe the goal was to stop losing yourself. I think many of us were taught to fight too hard for places where we were barely tolerated. To over-give. Over-prove. Over-explain. As if dignity had to be earned.
You just don't understand.
maybe
I'm
healing
trying to
begins
explain. It's really important.
The moment you stop asking,
Hello?
how do
Are
I
you
make
even
them
listening?
respect me? And start asking, why am I staying where I feel small?
We
That
deserve
question changes
answers.
people.
This isn't fair.
Slowly,
No.
quietly, painfully, but honestly. And maybe wisdom is just that. Pain. Finally becoming gentler. Less desperate. Less afraid. So next time someone disrespects you, before you explain, before you defend, before pain takes the wheel, pause. Just for 3 seconds. Breathe. Watch the moment. Watch yourself. And remember this: you do not have to abandon yourself to keep someone else comfortable. You do not have to react instantly to prove your value. And you are not weak for feeling hurt. You are human. This is Blissful Journey. And if something in this video quietly found you tonight, I hope you carry this with you. Protect your peace. But don't lose your softness. Because staying kind, without losing yourself, might be one of the bravest things you ever learn. Take care. And I'll see you in the next journey.